lovely aesthetic in this crowd here. This brick wall coming soon is brilliant. It's brilliant. It's very Lynchian in here, you know. So I just moved here from Williamsberg, Brooklyn, not Pennsylvania. Y'all ever been? Anyone ever been to fucking Williamsburg, Brooklyn? Yeah, have you actually been to Williamsburg? That's multiple times. Did you do like fashion shit there? You're not a model? No? Okay. Well, that's sort of what my shtick is. But yeah, Williamsburg, like I moved here just for the fun of it, basically. But you know, it's really similar. There's good underground music. You got the craft beer. You know, I paid $8 for a beer. You do that in fucking Brooklyn too. And you know, they have the cinnamon cigarettes. You know, those things that fucking stink. But you know, I'm a fashion guy. If you can't tell, like I like fashion. You know, I have an amateur fashion line. I'm not going to disclose the name. I'm doing stand-up, for God's sake. But you know, I spent the whole aughts, so to speak. The aughts, it means the 2000s, if you guys don't know that. Working on my fashion line by working at clothing stores. So I worked at H&M. I worked at Forever 21. I worked at Target in the children's clothing section. And parents don't like it when you give them advice on their children's wardrobe. I'm going to tell you that. But yeah, Forever 21 was very interesting because I started working there when I was 19. And I worked there until I was 22, which you're not supposed to do. Trust me, you're not supposed to do that. But because, you know, this is a shit joke. No matter how old I get, Forever 21 stays the same age. Another similar thing to Williamsburg and Victoria is that it's a bit of a political bubble. I myself am apolitical, so to speak. But in Williamsburg, me and my buddies, you know, we all read Reddit. So there was this Bernie Sanders rally, and we smoked a bunch of weed and had a few craft beers and went to a Bernie Sanders rally. And it was interesting because I didn't know all that much about him. I read some headlines. I'm just a headline reader, but it was very strange because he kind of sounded like a socialist, and I was really confused by that ideologically speaking. So now I'm working here. I'm working at American Apparel. Which is kind of questionable, and a lot of my coworkers ask me sort of like why I moved here, and I moved here just like I looked up like coolest cities in Canada. This was #1. It was a Vice article, and they assume I moved here because of the election, which is nonsense. I'm sure you all have heard about Americans trying to move here because they're afraid of the election. That's just not going to happen. That's ridiculous. Field notes. So yeah, also Victoria. I was walking around downtown when I first moved here, and you guys have all these head shops, these pot shops. So it's quite easy to get pot here, but it's illegal, right? Like Justin Trudeau, right? Justin Trudeau hasn't truly legalized weed yet, right? Is that right? Yeah. Right, but you all have the green card, right? Right, you can all walk into a store and buy weed, right? So I walked in there and I assumed it was medical, in California. In Williamsburg, Brooklyn, there's no medical weed. Weed's illegal. It's totally illegal. But I walked in there and I just was kind of like, hey, how the fuck do I get weed? And they're like, what's wrong with you? And I'm like, well, I need weed. And they're like, and now I can buy weed there. But I checked out after I bought my first half-o. And it was like $200 fucking, man. So if there's anybody here that sells weed, I would much rather buy that. So if there's any dealers in there, I also really like taking Xanax and Adderall. So if you guys sell that shit, please let me know after everyone's done. Thanks for having me here, Chuckle Bucks.